Is it bad to own companies with similar names? You might see this a lot. Businesses might have McDonald's Corporate or McDonald's Holding Company or Ronald McDonald House or McDonald Holdings 7 LLC, McDonald Holdings 8 LLC, or McDonald's Minneapolis LLC. In other words, the McDonald's brand is essentially being utilized in a lot of different company names. Let's first talk about, can you do that? Sure. It's legal. There's nothing wrong with that. Can you run into problems with that? Yes, you can. And here's the scenario. It can be confusing for people working in these various companies to remember what is the name of their company and use the proper company name in every interaction. I'll give you a big example here. There's the Mall of America in Bloomington, Minnesota. I believe it's the largest indoor mall in the United States, or at least it was at one time. There was a big case called 555 v. Simon, and it was basically large companies suing each other over ownership and a partnership in ownership and control of the Mall of America. And in that case, there was a letter written by one company regarding the dispute, and it was written on letterhead of another company. So in other words, one of the employees of the company used the wrong letterhead because they got confused. There are so many different companies. And the court said in one of its orders, the party had made no distinction between the companies, so the court will not either. It's a paraphrase, but essentially, because the owner of the company was not distinguishing between the different companies, the court would not either. In other words, the court would pierce the corporate veil between all of these companies and treat them all as the same, treat them all as alter egos of each other. As a result, instead of a company having limited liability, other companies in the same family of companies had joint and several liability. And this was an expensive error because the court reached in and ordered that proceeds be disgorged, millions of dollars be disgorged and taken for one of the other companies. If you're wondering what disgorged means, I have another YouTube video on that. We'll put a link to that down below in the description. So what's the takeaway here? It's fine if you have companies with similar names, but it's very important that you treat them as separate companies consistently. They all need to have their own bank account, their own financial records. When employees work for the different companies, they need to log their time for each company, and each company has to make payroll to those employees. So for example, if you're working for 4 of your companies, you need to make sure that you're being paid by all 4 of those companies. You can't just have your payroll coming from one company and then doing work for 4 of them, because that is not distinguishing between the 4 different companies, and you run the risk that a court won't distinguish between them later. Because to the extent you treating them as alter egos of each other or commingling their funds or their resources, the court then can say, I'm not going to treat these as separate companies either. And now you lose all the limited liability. So is it bad to own companies with similar names? No, if you keep them separate from each other in all other aspects. But the more similar the names are, the more parties and employees and contractors can be confused about which entity they're working for or with. If you would like more information on me, you can find it at aaronhall.com. I hope this was helpful, and let's stay in touch. You can sign up at aaronhall.com/free if you would like to receive those exclusive training videos for people who are trying to avoid common problems in small businesses. Have a great day.